The first time he saw her, he didn't even realize it would change his life forever. The restaurant was busy, the kind of place where everyone was rushing, talking, laughing, and sometimes bumping into each other. He had come in that evening, exhausted from meetings that never seemed to end. And there she was, smiling genuinely at every table she served, moving with a calm confidence, and somehow making each person feel seen, even in the chaos. Something about her made the world feel lighter, warmer. "Son, she is perfect for you," his mother said softly from across the room, her eyes twinkling as she pointed at the waitress. At first, he chuckled. Mom had a way of teasing him about love and life, but as he watched her, something shifted in him. Her kindness wasn't loud or dramatic, it was quiet, steady, and so genuine that it drew him in without him even realizing it. Before we dive deeper into this story, take a moment to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and comment down below. We share heartwarming stories here every week on Kindness Journey, stories that remind us of the power of small acts of kindness to change lives. That night, he found himself returning to that restaurant, not just for dinner, but for the chance to see her again. The CEO, a man used to power, deadlines, and numbers, was suddenly nervous like a teenager. He watched her serve another table, noticed how she remembered every little detail, greeted every customer with a smile, and still managed to carry herself with dignity and grace. He realized that what she did wasn't just a job, she made people feel cared for, valued, and noticed. Finally, he gathered the courage to approach her. "Hi, I'm sorry if this is forward, but I just wanted to say you have a really amazing way of making people feel welcome," he said, his voice betraying just a hint of nervousness. She looked up, a little surprised, and then smiled warmly. "Thank you. That's really kind of you to say," she replied. What started as casual conversations during meals soon grew into coffee dates, walks in the park, and long talks that lasted late into the evening. He discovered that she wasn't just kind to strangers, she was genuinely thoughtful, compassionate, and carried a quiet strength that inspired him. She listened in a way that made him feel truly heard, laughed in a way that filled the room with joy, and treated everyone around her with respect and warmth. One evening, while they were walking by the river, he opened up about his life. "I've spent so much time chasing success, building companies, making sure everyone around me is happy except myself. I never thought I'd meet someone like you," he said, his voice low but honest. She looked at him, understanding, not judging. "Kindness is powerful," she said softly. "It doesn't just change others, it changes you too. Maybe that's what we've been missing all along." As weeks turned into months, he realized that her presence had changed him in ways he never expected. He became more patient, more attentive, and more aware of the little ways he could show kindness in his own life. The CEO who once measured life in contracts and profits now measured it in smiles, shared moments, and the laughter that filled quiet afternoons with her. The pivotal moment came on a quiet Sunday morning. They were volunteering at a local shelter, helping serve meals to people who had fallen on hard times. She moved among the tables, chatting, encouraging, and listening, and he followed her lead. For the first time in years, he felt a deep connection to something bigger than himself. He realized that love and kindness weren't just about grand gestures, they were about showing up, giving attention, and treating others with care. That day, as they were walking home, he took her hand. "I don't know how to put this into words, but you've taught me more about life than I ever learned in boardrooms or meetings. You've shown me that real power isn't about money or status, it's about kindness," he said, looking into her eyes. She smiled, squeezing his hand. "And you've taught me that kindness can be noticed, appreciated, and returned in ways that make the world better. We've both learned from each other." The story of the CEO and the waitress soon became a quiet legend among friends and colleagues. People marveled at how a man who had everything could be so changed by someone who simply cared about others. And it wasn't just about love, it was about understanding that the simplest acts of kindness can ripple through lives in ways we never imagine. Even today, he carries those lessons with him. He still runs his companies, attends his meetings, and handles the pressures of his job, but he does so with a renewed sense of purpose. He looks for ways to support his employees, notices when someone is struggling, and takes time to make connections that matter. And it all began because he saw a woman being kind in a busy restaurant, a woman who treated people with genuine care and made the world a little brighter just by being herself. Kindness, he learned, is contagious. One small act, one warm smile, or one attentive conversation can set off a chain reaction that touches lives far beyond what we can see. Love, respect, and empathy, these are not just words but actions that define who we are and how we impact the world. And sometimes, life has a way of introducing us to the people who teach us these lessons in the most unexpected ways. As he and the woman he fell in love with continue their journey together, they remind us that the heart has a way of recognizing true goodness. It's not found in wealth, status, or appearances, it's found in the quiet, consistent acts of care we show to others. It's found in smiling at strangers, listening without judgment, helping when we can, and lifting others up without expecting anything in return. So the next time you see someone going out of their way to be kind, take a moment to notice, appreciate, and maybe even learn from it. You never know, it might change your life, the way it changed his. And remember, kindness is never wasted. It comes back to you in ways you can't imagine, and sometimes it leads to the most beautiful chapters of your life. If there's one thing we can all take from this story, it's that genuine kindness has the power to transform hearts, build deep connections, and create love that lasts a lifetime. So go ahead, share a smile, lend a hand, and let your heart guide you. Because in a world that often feels rushed and disconnected, acts of kindness are the threads that weave us together, and sometimes, they lead us to the people we are meant to love.